You just got your new scanner and I'm going to teach you how to use them. I'm going to show you guys how I use the scanner as well as some of the settings and ways you can set it up to make it work for you. So let's get started. So what exactly is this scanner used for? This scanner is basically going to be used to scan your cards a lot faster, especially if you used to use something like this. This is kind of just something you can put your phone on and, you know, tilt it up and take pictures. I used to do that when I first started. I used to take all my pictures with a phone holder. Obviously it takes a long time, and that's why I use my scanner, and it's been a lot quicker. I can scan all my cards in quick to process your cards with high quality pictures, and sometimes the phone camera doesn't do the best with that. It'll tend to get blurry and all that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that there's going to be some things that you need to know about the scanner though that will affect your cards, and the way we're going to explain it is to help you prevent these issues. Alright guys, so I just finished wrestling with this scanner just to bring it to my desk. The wires aren't long enough. Anyways, here's a few tips that we can use to start using our scanner. Now, the first thing you're probably going to want to do is install your software, and that's going to be the paper stream capture software. And in order to do that, you're going to have some links in software. You know, you can go to their webpage and download it. Now, once you download this software, you're going to eventually have to turn this on, and you're going to have to go through the settings and get the serial number that shows up here. I'm specifically not going to show you how to do that because you can find that on the website. Once you get everything installed and set up, you should be ready to use this scanner. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you set up this scanner? It's pretty simple, but there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. If you open this up, you're going to see, here, I'm actually going to unplug the power really quick. So in order to really set this up, and a couple things to keep in mind, you're going to want to clean your contacts and everything. Just make sure they're nice and clean, especially this white area. All the glass and scanning parts, you're just going to want to clean it off. Sometimes it does get dirty, and mine is a little dusty, as you can see right now. I do need to clean it. I haven't used it in a few days. These white areas is going to show you like where the scanning glass is. You want to clean that with a microfiber towel, or maybe some, you know, you can use like eyeglass cleaner or alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I just rotated this over, and this is going to be one of the big parts here. Now, this is the problem with these scanners, and you need to keep in mind that this is really important, okay? So I'm going to take this out and show you guys. This roller here is pretty important, but I'm just going to take it out for now. A lot of complaints about this, that it marks the cards, but there is the way to fix this. You can take out this black part here. There's a black, there's a spring-loaded, kind of, it almost like keeps the cards so they don't like multi-scan cards, like sometimes it'll go through. But I'll just link a video on like how, like what explains this, but basically this part here can scratch your cards. So you have to keep that in mind before you start scanning. I just took mine out completely, and that's done wonders for me. I think it works great still. That's just a preference, but if you're worried about that, like once you take this out, it's pretty hard to get back in. So people say like just to tape this down. I didn't have much luck with the taping this black part, and I didn't like how it worked, so I just took out the thing completely. But I'm gonna go put this back, and this little part that I took out before, this helps your cards roll through. Do not use this with sleeved cards, or the sleeves will get all wrinkled, so just keep that in mind. It's easy. It's pretty easy to swap out. You just put it right back in. Works great. So this here is the rack, which you put your cards in. You can do different types of orientations. For my sleeved cards, I like to do it this way, and I'll give you an example. I put them in like this, sideways, and front to the back. And then for unsleeved cards, you'll see me do this, where I put the cards this way. And usually I don't have any issues putting the cards in this way when having double feed. So the maximum cards you could probably scan with bulk, I would say, is probably like, I would just do 25 just to keep it from like double feeding. I think you can go up to 50. It might even be 100. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you guys what you want to do with your sleeved cards. So you're going to take this part out, right? And this is going to prevent any damage. And this is the way you want to do it. It's nice and clean, but this just honestly prevents any, you know, crinkles. because this roller will sometimes grab this card and it just like, not fun. So there's one thing you probably don't want to do with these cards. And whenever you're with the sleeves, you want to make sure that you're not putting these cards like upside down in the sleeve, because it's going to fall out. It's going to crinkle the sleeve up. Let me see if I can give you an example. I don't know if it's going to work here. Yep, see, the sleeve stayed. You do not want that to happen. It's trying to scan the sleeve. The best recommended way to put in your sleeve cards is sideways. That way you don't have any problem with the card, you know, snagging on the bottom and taking the card out. Booyah! Too easy. Okay guys, now I showed you all the things with the sleeve, so now I'm going to show you guys how it works without the sleeve. There we go. I'm gonna put that roller back in, set it back up, make sure it's tight. Okay, this is how I do my bulk cards if I don't put sleeves. I'm just gonna show you guys. So you want to put in like that, and you want to change the orientation of your scanner software, but I'll show you that after. I'm just showing examples. This is going to be your bottom to top view. I'm just going to show you with one card, then I'll show you with like a bulk set of cards. So I'm going to go ahead and scan that. Beautiful. See? So I did grab about 25 cards. I think that I'll show you guys how well it worked with 25, and then I'll just put 50 in after. If you're scanning bulk cards, you're going to want to raise up your scanner. And there's a lot of makeshift ways. I'm sure there's third-party things you can buy, but I just found this. I have this extra storage basket that I've been using, and I just prop it up underneath here. Like so. And that just gives it some room to let the cards fall so they don't get stuck. And you're probably wondering, why do that? The cards are gonna go everywhere. Well, I'm gonna show you. You can put a box in there, or you can use something like, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's something called a card slinger, is what I use. You don't need this, but I just like it because it just brings the cards down. It has like a little slide and it just puts them in there for you. Let me show you guys how that works. I'm going to put 25 cards in, like so. It's ready? And let's scan it. There you go. So that's how I do my feed with bulk cards. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to set up your settings, or at least how I do it, and it should give you some pretty nice pictures. So let's go ahead and check that out. Alright guys, so we are recording the screen here. I'm going to show you how to set up your scans, but I'm just going to kind of go over exactly how I do things. First thing you want to do, and when you scan, and this is just setting it up, you're going to have all these settings here. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. So you want to use JPEG format, and you just set up your folder like so, and you can just look at my settings as I have it on the screen. Go to browse, you can choose a folder. You got advanced settings, and this is gonna be how you want to set it up. Just take a look at my screen, and this is how I have it set up, and it'll just be fine. I'm not gonna explain everything here. And then we're gonna go to options, JPEG. I have a compression level 5. Okay. And then these are the settings that are the most important. So you're gonna find that you have the bottom to top penny sleeve, and that's what I do for bulk. I know it says penny sleeve, but I've been using it for my bulk cards. You can name this whatever you want. Go to scanner settings, and this is how you're gonna set up everything. So if you want to get pictures like mine, this is how I set it up. So image mode is gonna be color. Paper source is feeder both sides. I use 1200 DPI. 600 is okay as well, but I use 1200 just for the most quality. Paper size is custom, but I did measure it for like a regular card. When you do scan these cards though, it's basically going to recognize the size of the card, so you don't really have to worry about this too much, but this is just my settings. Carry sheet, nothing. Front and back merging, nothing. Let's go back to the image settings. Image setting, automatic. Prioritize color. You can copy my settings here. I do like this. This gives me the best settings. Cleanup, off. Vertical streaks reduction. You can turn this on. It does slow down the scanning speed, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but I personally leave it off. You can leave it on if you have like vertical streaks and stuff, just to test it out. Completely okay. Inverted image off. Turn that off. Go to page. So this is cropping is important. So if you find that you have too much space on your cards and you want to just kind of slim it down, you want to use a margin, and I believe that white. There's gonna be an automatic size here. That's what I use for cropping. Background's gonna be white. Output size, margin, and then I put 1 millimeter. That seems to work the best for sleeved and unsleeved cards. Rotation. So depending on how you scan your cards, whether it's upside down or sideways, vertical, you may have to flip your cards. So I do a whole 180 degrees. That way it just spins the card around in the correct orientation. If you're doing horizontal, you're going to want to use 90 degrees. Edge correction is automatically on. Hole punch removal, don't worry about that. And then blank page detection, I guess that's on. I never messed with this, but you guys can play with it. I just don't recommend touching that, or at least keep it the way I have it. Paper feeding. So manual feeds mode. I like to turn this on personally. For bulk cards, maybe don't do manual feed, because there might be a possibility that it just scans all of the cards at once. So just keep that in mind. Multi-feed detection. You can turn this on. I don't. It might stop your scan or do some weird things, but go ahead and play with that if you want. Paper protection, hardware settings. I never tried this. You can try turning this on. I honestly don't know what it does specifically, but you can try it. Pre-pick is on. Batch, assisted scan off, continuous scan. I put manual just in case there's like cards I still want to feed in. If you do automatic, then it's just gonna stop scanning automatically. I just choose manual. That way I can decide whether I want to stop scanning or not. Job control off, patch code detection off. Endorser, digital endorser off. And then here's the last one, is output. These settings are basically from the beginning, but it's just your compression. That's at 5. And statistical information off. And that's it for the settings. So we'll go do another test scan, and I will show you what the pictures look like when I scan it through. All right, so I'm doing the bulk load. We're gonna just do a scan test. Do our test folder. File name will be in here automatically. And then you scan. So like I said, I'm going to be putting 50 cards in here, and this will give you a good test. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Now, as you can see, there are some small white lines from the scanner, which means I haven't cleaned it in a while. And that's like I mentioned before. And this is actually a good example. And some different colors show it more than others. This mark doesn't actually show on the card itself. And if it is, it's because you didn't take out that little black piece that I mentioned before. That piece will actually scratch your cards, and that's why I took it out. Always make sure you do a test run before you do this as well. Boom. So that worked out really well. And that's basically the point of it. So let me just give you guys a quick example of a few sleeved cards. We're going to change the orientation. This is my sideways. So basically the same settings, just I believe this one's set up for manual feed, but anyways. So I'm gonna take out my roller and show you guys how this works. And another tip, do not bulk load sleeved cards unless you have like the perfect fit sleeves. It might work a little bit better. I do not have that. I have regular penny sleeves. That's why I don't do automatic feed. I do manual feed one by one. So here comes 3 cards in sleeves. So get ready to see that. That's 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, these lines are present again on the photo. Alright guys, so I just cleaned the rollers, and now I'm going to give you another example of what it looks like the pictures when it's actually clean. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. See? So that picture is showing that those marks are not there. I cleaned it, and it's looking a lot better. Very beautiful. One more time. Awesome. Alright guys, so that is it for the video, and that's just basically everything that we went over with the scanner. Basically just scanning cards, the settings, and other little tips that you might want to just keep in mind of in case you're scanning cards. That will be it. And one thing I do want to mention is the reason for all of this, basically because I use TCG Automate now. It's a really awesome software that helps you upload and get your cards up really quickly on eBay or TCG Player, whatever you want to use. That's what I use. It allows me to use a SKU system, which makes it really easy to sort your cards. And I've had nothing but awesome times with that software. And the photos that you get from this scanner are going to directly upload to TCG Automate efficiently, and it's going to AI predict your cards, and you don't have to do much with it, and you can just price everything you want and just upload it to eBay really quickly. And that's just another reason why you should get this scanner, because it just makes everything so efficient. And yeah, it's totally worth it. Once you get the investment to buy this thing, it will definitely help your profits a little bit quicker. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. We're gonna have another video sometime on YouTube. I know I haven't been posting a lot, but anyways, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe if you want to see more. Comment if this has been helpful for you. Just let me know what you guys want for next time for quick tips and help and how I do things, and I'll be happy to share it. So anyways, take care guys, have a good day, and peace. Whoop.